Welcome back, everyone, to Songs of Six. I just had a little bit of a chuckle. I noticed in the menu, I'm not sure how long this has been a thing, but I loaded this game just now, and one of the loading messages was, and I barely saw it, was "Patience is a virtue," and then I just spat out other things that was loading. Uh, I agree completely. Just thought it was funny to see that in a loading update message. All right. Let's see. So we've got quite a few things going on in our settlement, but we're far from prosperity here. There's even a little jaguar or something down here that's trying to kill us. We have to keep an eye on that. We have 7 odd jobbers. I don't think they're working on anything right now. I think they might be, you know what, they are grabbing materials right now. So we'll let the game game time pass a little bit. They can gather the materials until I believe around day 1 or day 2 of autumn. So we just kind of want to keep an eye on that time, at least early on, because our odd jobbers are important. And we can't have them working on stuff when they need to be foraging. So we should have them working everywhere. We can try to look for them. Here's a few. It's actually most of them right there. Yep, so that's 6. And the 7th one was up north. So that's good. This will bring in the fruit, which we desperately need. In the meantime, we can probably try to figure out what kind of additional things we want. One nice thing they added in Early Access 65 is the ability to set up shrines to the various, the 4 gods, basically, that you can worship in this game. Temples were always there. They're still there. But these are really costly, and they're usually done, like, mid-game to late-game type stuff. So we can build shrines extremely cheaply. Does it even say what... Yeah, it even says when you mouse over it how many worshippers we have. I think Krator. Yep, Krator has 82% of our people are worshipping Krator. So we will put down a Krator shrine. Kind of want to give it some space. The speaker, people will kind of gather around the speaker. We could put it right here. This will allow us the ability to walk through here should we need to. Should be fine. But what we'll do for now is we'll suspend it. So I'm just planning things out right now. Let's see. We can also put down a mass grave. The thing is, obviously, no one wants to die. But if you have a place set up where they can die, they like that. So we'll just put a small mass grave right there. Oh, it only has 0 graves. Nice. Okay, now it has 4. Suspend that as well. We already have a well. That one's really important and cheap, so definitely recommend it. Lavatory requires furniture. We still have to build the carpenter. We just gained an extra worker. We'll take that. Let's see. Looks like they're still gathering stuff. Our window to gather things is still not closed, but there's a lot of things on the map. We won't get to all of it, obviously, this year. We just don't have enough people. Hopefully we'll get to most of it, though. In the meantime, we still have 9 crates. I'm going to add a little bit to wood and stone. Alright. By the way, I didn't mention this at the start. You can click on the throne and see your name, what rank you are, and then your city name. You can also change these. This is under visuals. So we can change our flag if we want, our faction name, and our ruler name. Sorze. Faction name Ekreft is fine. You can do a lot of customization in there for your flag. It's mostly just a set of pixels, basically, in a grid. And you can change the colors for the set of them. So, both the background and the foreground. So it pretty much allows you to make basically any flag that you want. A pixelated version, of course, but it's still a good flag. Looks like we are getting these mushrooms too, so that's great. We'll be able to haul that in soon. We are almost out of rations, so the meat is going to have to take over here soon. The oryx are helping, but we definitely need a hunter. We can't build a hunter yet until we get the carpentry going. So we're on a bit of a time crunch here. As soon as they're no longer able to forage, though, we will start setting this up. I'm going to put the hunter over here. Yeah, it should be fine for now. I lied. Let's get another butcher table right there. Perfect. I doubt we'll be able to put all four. Yeah. Now what we could do, we can, yeah, do that. So now we have doors on either side and down here, just so that it's a little bit more accessible. And that's kind of the name of the game when you design these rooms more professionally, is you want to make sure that their ingress is going to allow them to get to a spot where they can do work efficiently, without having them go over like different auxiliary benches and you know, junk like that. Make sure you suspend all of this too. When you click in the middle there and suspend it, it only suspends the actual room itself. It doesn't suspend the walls. We don't want them working on any of that right now. I think the season has elapsed. Nope, not yet. They are able to get that fruit too, so that's great. What we're going to do as well, we're going to go back to hiring a deliveryman. We're getting near the end of it. They should be about done with their foraging season. There are people heading over here. Kind of crazy. I thought it was, it's already day 2 of autumn and we're still able to gather. So I guess the window's not as bad as I was thinking. Always a good thing. Did we get, yep, we got all that fruit. Looks like we got all the important things, so... yeah, excellent. Looks like we got actually all of it. Except for this, which we removed. Let's see. Forage right here. Probably a bit late, but we'll set it up for next year so we can get it. Okay. Looking good here. Yep, we already have a speaker. Lavatory will be next. Food stall and market are pretty important too. We can build these extremely small. Even small versions of these stalls will serve a lot of people. So we'll kind of build, I think, up here a little bit. Let's look at the fertility again and see what we're working with. Yeah, I think all of this area right here is perfectly good building area, industry and whatnot. We could probably put some farms over here. At least rudimentary farms. So all of this area is is good. We have our mass grave right here. Food stalls go great with mass graves. Let's see. This serves... has 10 services with basically 1 employee, it looks like. Yeah, 0.75 employees. That looks pretty good to me. So we'll set that up, suspend it. And let's also create the market. I think these are the same size, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. 10 services, 1 employee. Okay, so I'm going to pause the game now. We are done foraging, I'm pretty sure. Looks like we got all of it. Except for maybe this grain down here. No, they are still working on it. Interesting. Alright. This window is definitely longer than I remember. It may have been tweaked, too, for all I know. Maybe you can harvest through a lot of autumn now, though. We just gained another Tilapi worker. Okay, it is now no longer accessible. So, day 3. Basically, as soon as day 3 starts, it's done. So that's fine. We'll go back to activating this job. And give them more productive tasks over the winter. The delivery man is gonna bring in the materials from all over the map. So we'll see our warehouse start to climb. And this will be good too, because our food days up here will increase. So right now, if you click on the food days, you can see we are producing the 3.3 from the Auric. And our consumption is 5, so we're at a deficit, of course. But the thing is, we have a ton of food that we just brought in. So we can last for 11 days. I think there are 5 days in a season. Actually, it might even be just 4. I think it's 4 days in a season. So we're definitely going to last, basically, for quite a while. We've already got 15 days, and it's climbing. We've got plenty more materials out there. I know we have a lot of veggies, a lot of mushrooms, so we're set. So it'll give us enough time to get a lot of services off the ground, basically. We'll probably also look to set up an orchard in the future here. The thing is, we have 2 different options for fruit in this game. One is the fruit farm, the other is the orchard. The fruit farm, you can get this off the ground quicker, so you can start producing fruit quicker, but the yield is so low compared to the fruit orchard that it's pretty much... I've never seen a reason, basically, to use the fruit farm. Although it looks like maybe they changed the rates in ea65 here. Because it says we produce 1.5 with the fruit farm, but the fruit orchard gives us 2. You know what? Let's set up one of these. We'll just set up a small one. All right. The other thing we want to get as quickly as possible is the ability to export and import. But I think we're just going to need more people before the game will let us do that. These will allow us to manage our resources much more effectively. We can get rid of things like this grain that we don't need or want. And we can use the money, the proceeds, to buy stuff that we could actually use. Okay, we have 3 livestock here, 24 leather. That's right, we're not storing livestock at all. We can probably store that now. Get it out of the throne room, get it out of here. We could probably also use the leather. We'll put it in here for now. I don't mind them working on both of these right now. When the fruit farm gets built, most of the workers are going to have to go there just to keep the farm going. And we'll be fine with that. I'm hoping we get it done before the fruit disappears. We only have 39, and we need 26 to get the farm going. Only one of our workers is actually working on this carpenter, so I won't suspend it for now, but I am hoping they do this first. Looks like they are. Seems like they do indeed prioritize not starving over industry. Probably a fair choice. Okay. Yeah, they're able to clear it pretty quick. It's not even winter yet. It's only been a day. They're already more than half cleared. Once it's cleared, they'll bring in the materials, and then they'll start the construction. So those are the 3 stages, basically. We'll kind of watch this happen in real time. While we listen to the melodious sound of oryx mooing at us constantly. They did tone this down, thankfully. Thank you, Jake. This used to be quite obnoxiously loud. It seems like he toned down the hysteresis here a little bit on their mooing. It's still definitely annoying, but definitely not quite what it was before. And they definitely reduced the volume for it, too. Both much-needed changes. Okay, so there's only 1 tree left. So they'll come over here and work on this. It's fine, only 1 person can work on it at a time. Another way that you can kind of do this faster, if you know the plot of land that you want to use for the construction, you can clear it first. That way, you'll notice when they're clearing land, I guess I should preface that. When they're clearing the land, they will chop down a log, for instance, from a tree, and then they'll move that log outside of the area, and then they'll go back to chopping the log. So obviously that's like very inefficient compared to just standing there chopping the tree down completely and then moving the logs out of the way. So these are just small things that you can take advantage of in the game to make the job easier. I didn't think about it this time, but definitely something that you can do. And it gets really important for like areas like this if we want to use it. It takes forever to chop down like an area of trees this long. And if you're doing it 1 log at a time and then moving it like out of this big area, it can get it can get pretty labor intensive. Like I'm talking in the years type category, like a whole year to finish something like that. Okay. Let's see. This job needs a resource that is unobtainable in your city before it can be performed. So when that happens, there's a little bug here. You just have to rebuild it like that. Unfortunately, that means they have to come over here again, and as you can see, and just reorganize stuff. Okay. 3 fruit farmers have been hired. Everyone else goes back to construction. We have 100% moisture. Okay, there's no blight or blessing right now, so it's at the normal rate. We have no bonus skill with this. It says 33% currently, but that's just because it starts off at a low number and then moves up to the max. So over time, this should reach 100%. And actually, it'll go up if we gain experience, nobilities that help, special kinds of tech. So you can see all the different multipliers right there, additive ones and various stuff. So in 10 days, we will have fruit. I'm guessing it will be 11 days times the output, but I guess we'll see. Like I said, I don't play around with fruit farms too often. The older versions of the game, they're not really, they're not worth it compared to a fruit orchard. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we're still having trouble building this, huh? It seems like they might be putting stuff in front of where they're working or something. Very strange bug. For now, let's activate... well, we can't. We can activate the shrine and the grave, just to give them something to do. We may have to... We may have to add more space here. So let's increase the size of the room. And then add a the workbench right here. We'll just have like basically an extra like an extra spot where they can like maneuver around some objects. Maybe that will help. This is, like I said, ea65. I have seen that bug before, but normally I think just refurbishing it will fix it. But there are bound to be quite a lot of bugs in this version. I still do recommend playing this one though instead. It is dramatically different from the older versions of the game. And obviously all the games are going to move towards this version, and it's incompatible with the old game, old saved games that you might have. So I definitely recommend playing this one. It is available as long as you buy the game. If you do not buy the game, it's fine. You can play an older version just to get a feel for it, see if it's something you're interested in, which I think is a really cool model. Well, so they have a mass grave now. So as you can see here, we're able to recruit more Tilapi. That's great. When we get the shrine going too, they'll really like that. We're working on tearing down these walls. That takes a while, so that's why this isn't happening that fast. It's fine. We have all winter, though. Graves. So only 4 bodies can stay here at a time. That's not too bad. They do expire after a while. I think it's like maybe a year or 2, something like that. So the slots will free themselves up again. And that's what it means by available services, by the way. 4 of 4 grave slots. So we have no one dead yet. We're doing something right. Okay, is it still, it's still complaining, isn't it? Okay, let's try that. It's quite a strange bug that we have here, huh? Oh no, it's not a bug. I'm just an idiot. We don't have any wood. Alright. Well, I'm sure you guys have had a laugh over the past, what, 10, 15 minutes before it took me to figure that out. And now we have a weird carpentry room. It's fine. We'll rip it down eventually. We might actually keep this one around for different types of tasks in the future. We'll want a much bigger one for crafting furniture. But we might make other tools and nifty gadgets in this room instead in the future. Yeah, so that was my bad. Always look to see that you have enough wood. I thought we had a ton, to be honest. But we must have used up a lot elsewhere. I guess the Krator Shrine used up some. Oh well. These jobs are inactive. We can activate these jobs as well. They'll split their time towards construction here. That's fine. We're not in any rush to finish this anyway, so... Well, we sort of are, but, you know. Yep, citizens don't like it here. Let's see. What can we do to fix things? They'll like it a lot when we get the Shrine to Krator going. Actually, things are pretty good here. Why does it say the target is 65%? Probably because of the housing. As soon as we get this built, we'll look at housing. In fact, we'll get it set up right now. So there are 3 different types of housing. You have apartments, houses, and then longhouses. So it's just how dense you want it to be. If you have apartments, they're less dense, but they give you more privacy, and so your citizens will like that more. I usually do like the mixture right here with the house. Gives them a decent amount of privacy, but is also pretty dense for like city blocks. And then, by the way, you can also increase the size of this to add more houses, and it will tell you what the dimensions are, how much wood you need, and then how many residents it'll fill. And actually, you can increase the number of residents as time goes on. So anyway, let's see. I'm gonna put my housing a little bit further away. Put it right there. Okay, we do have our Shrine to Krator. Krator. And we're going to keep chopping wood. Because that's important if you want to finish building things that require wood. Not sure if you knew that. Definitely important. So we'll speed up the game a bit. We do have 8 odd jobbers here, so... We may actually want them to finish the house first, to be honest. Oh, look at that. There's no longer an issue. Imagine. Okay, loyalty is rapidly rising. We didn't really change anything. By the way, you will also take a temporary loyalty hit whenever you let an immigrant in. So that's something to keep in mind. If your loyalty is low, you should definitely hold off on accepting immigrants unless you just really need the hands to get something done, and you know you're about to increase your loyalty as a result. Things that increase loyalty are the same basic things that increase happiness, to be honest. The more access to services they have, the more happy and loyal they will be as a result. There are other ways, as it alludes to here, Other means do exist for getting your loyalty up, but it's mostly based on happiness. So I'm not sure why they were disloyal. I mean, you know, they can sleep on the snow. It's okay, right? Builds character. Okay. They should finish one of these homes here soon. This one, it looks like, will get done. People should start to move in. You can see the homeless number over here. We have 13 plebs. 13 of 16. I don't know where the other 3 are living. Maybe they like it in the dirt. Anyway. It says vacant for 5. And that just means the game has not assigned people yet. And then, boom, there we go. We have 1 person. It's a speaker. Others should fill in over time. And you can see the homeless count decreasing. This should help immensely, I think. There are loyalty issues. Eventually. Once we get these, this carpenter and these 3 houses done, we will move on. Okay, so notice, of course, to keep an eye on things that we've already been watching. It's the workforce. This notice is letting us know that we now have a negative workforce balance. And as it mentions here, it can quickly turn into a complete collapse of our city, because basically it will pull workers from other jobs. And so, so other things will start to suffer. You know, your livestock will die. Maybe your orchards will start to die. Yeah, bad things. So anyway, you can change the priority, but it's better to just, you know, not tax your workforce. So the reason why this is because we finished our carpenter, and it automatically assigned the maximum number of people using the auto-employ function. So we're going to turn that down. We'll leave 4 on for now, and then turn off auto-employ. So this recipe will use wood and create furniture. And then as we get more people available, more odd jobbers, we can slowly start to add more people to this this building. That's why I kind of made it a little bit bigger than the other buildings, because I knew we were going to need a lot of furniture in the future. And this will allow us to scale a little bit more as time goes on. So there we go. We have 9 people moved into the housing block. We only have 4 odd jobbers now to build. The other guys, it looks like, will come in and help, like right now. So they'll knock it out pretty quick. And you can see them doing the work. Now, the thing is, these carpenters, they actually emit noise. And a lot of refining buildings do. So this is another overlay that you can use, is noise. So what we want to do, and this is kind of why I started building my housing further away, is we don't want to build any of our houses nearby. Because who wants to live next to, you know, pounding and sawing all day? Doesn't make for a nice life. So people actually like this place enough to come in and join us. We still have plenty of fruit, so that's fine. Moisture, event, skill, work value. So our skill is trending towards 1, which is what I expect. Fertility we can increase if we bring water over here, which is a very interesting system now. But yeah, I'm not sure. I hope we get more than 1 in 7 days. That would be pretty sad. Okay. Still have 4 homeless. I think if we click this, we can click O mover here. So it moves the odd jobbers in manually over here, and the other people will maintain. The other people that are already employed will maintain their houses. So it just kind of forces the system to move move your odd jobbers into housing. The thing is, your employees, like the speaker and whatnot, the herder, they're gonna want to look for housing that's close to their job, right? Same in real life. Obviously, you want to look for a house that's close to your job, and so they will prioritize that kind of housing first. If there's none available within a certain radius, they'll simply just stay homeless. You know, it's better not having a house if they can, you know, get to work every day and not be late. The struggle is real in corporate tilapia land. So, let's see. So we're making 3 shelves a day. We already have 2. It's decent, but we need a little bit more. Hire a couple more people. Let's see. We can build the food stall, though. This will improve their satisfaction, so we'll activate that job. Have the other 5 deal with that. You know, we might, just to play around with this, we might actually try to bring water over here. I think this is a very labor-intensive job, but might be something we try to do here soon. Looking through to see if there's anything else we could use. We could use a fishery too. We're kind of far away from the river. Might be something that we want if we do need to bring in more food. Right now we're doing pretty good. We are going to add a hunter soon, which is right here. We need 37 furniture though, so it'll be a bit. We are making 4.5 a day now. Let's see. After this is done building, we might move more of our odd jobbers into the carpenter, at least temporarily. We don't really need them lazing about, to be honest. Right now we're just building, so we'll let that continue. We could also activate this hunter just to make sure it's ready to go, so that as soon as the furniture are ready, they'll automatically get moved in here. The market may be higher priority. But I think the hunter is. This will allow us to get more food days in, and then that will make people more happy and want to join us. Okay. So another thing that we could do is we can add roads. That would make their life a little bit easier, and it speeds them up in this game. So let's see. It's under construct roads. Now the thing is, with roads in this game, it's a little bit strange. Each of the different roads actually produces a different type of effect in the environment, and they all have different like access and speed bonuses and durability percentages. So you can kind of look at what road works best for your people. For the most part, the roads that have more durability in the long run will be better. Because, they require less maintenance. The Tilapi, I'm kind of torn always with the Tilapi because they like the fact that this produces harmony with the dirt roads, but the durability is 20% on the road, and the speed is only plus 10%. Whereas you can come over here with the stone road, and it gives you way more access, way more speed, way more durability, but then you lose that harmony buff. So just something to keep in mind with the Tilapi, at least in particular. They like the dirt roads, but in the long run, you're probably still better off going with the stone ones. So we'll just build a long road up through here. And you can also build a road into their house, too. Just the first door. Everything else is considered, paved, basically. Alright, so one person went to the food stall. And basically what they do is they just stock the food that you choose. You can turn certain foods off if you want. Or enable certain foods if you want to. And citizens will come here instead to pick up their food instead of the warehouse. And they like doing that. It's a pleasure to go to the food stall. We can even see the, well, actually I'm not sure what, oh yeah, the area is the white bordered stuff here. So it goes pretty far. As long as we build houses within this area, they will go down and use this food stall. Got another Tilapi over here. By the way, you can double-click. If you double-click, it will hire, well, not hire. It'll let all of the immigrants in. So if you have like 10 people waiting here, they will all come in if you double-click. I know right now it's going to be like 1 or 2 at a time, and we need all the people we can get, so I'm just double-clicking. But you can always right-click instead to see how many aspiring immigrants there are, and then you can change the number that you want to authorize there. Yet again, remember, every time you do this, the amount of immigrants will increase, and as such, your plebs will dislike that. So, for the most part, it's fine. Like I said, as long as you're not like 60 to 70% loyalty, and then you hire like, I don't know, 50 immigrants or something crazy like that, it should be okay. It won't really affect you in the long run. It's just a short-term hit. So we do have a lot of leather now. We can do tailoring. However, this also requires furniture, so we won't be able to make clothes for them yet. They do like clothes. Most people do. So we'll want to get that to them. For now, I think we will have them activate the hunter. Have them work on that, since they have spare time. Up to 22 people. Still have plenty of fruit. In fact, if we add another crate for fruit, maybe there will be more out there to grab. We'll see if the delivery man pulls in more. And if we do, the number of food days we'll have will increase too, I believe. So we'll keep an eye on that, see how much fruit is laying around. Maybe there wasn't any. We are up to 13 furniture. We have 10 livestock too. We could use this to kickstart another pasture if we want. Probably would be a good idea when we get more workers. For now, again, it's the middle of spring and we're getting closer to summer. So we just want to keep in mind, we'll definitely want to have enough workers to do the foraging again this year. In the meantime, let's make more of these guys carpenters. Increase our output. So you might notice now that we have these roads built, they'll prioritize using these roads because they know that they can get there faster and they'll like the trip a little bit better. So we'll also add more roads to help that out. Eventually these will be kind of like highways too, so in a sense. So we'll just build it all like that. Definitely hire as many people as we can get before the foraging season here. By the way, there are 2 icons up here that I haven't talked about yet. These are important as you play the game. The world log here will actually tell you what other people are doing in the world. You know, people are constantly fighting, taking rebel lands and besieging other people and forming new factions. Yeah, all kinds of stuff is constantly happening in the world. So something that you can look at there if you are interested. It doesn't matter too much in the early game, but it's important. So we just got our 25th Tilapi, and we reached a new rank because of it. Gives us a few things. Number one, we can now build a lab, so we can start to get science points. And our base happiness has increased, and immigration has increased. More people want to live here. Perfect. The second button up here at the top is messages. Remember we had that message that we were losing loyalty and missing workers. All of that's logged here. Our new level as well, and we can just delete them. So you can always look up here to see if there's anything important going on. Most of these messages, I believe, do pop up on the screen, so it's just a log. Okay, we do have more homeless, so let's try to fix that. Another housing block. Let's build a couple more houses right there. We don't want to overload them with tasks right now. This is done. This is just waiting for the furniture, so that's not a big deal. By the way, another nice thing that you can do, if you know you want to authorize like a bunch of people and you just want to let them in as soon as they show up, you can use this auto function. So it'll look to, basically, if you have less than 25 people, it will accept immigrants until you hit 25. So if we wanted to increase to 50, we could do that with this. Can be dangerous because, like I said, it's going to let immigrants in constantly, and you don't really control it at that point, but it becomes hands-off too. We'll set it to 50, actually. I think we can support that. I don't know. Let's find out. 1.3, if it's only 1.3, like I said, that's going to be kind of problematic. We're definitely going to need to get a better orchard going if that's the case, because that is nothing. We consume that in less than a day. I'm hoping that's like per day. Like, so it was, we were planting for like 10 or 11 days, so maybe we'll get like, I don't know, like 15 fruit or something? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll be even more than that. Our skill is still rising too, so the amount of production that we'll ultimately get will be better than this anyway. Okay. Okay, so we're out of wood again. We're not going to fall for that trick again. Yeah, I was thinking of a different bug where if they don't have access to the square for some reason, some weird reason, some pathing weirdness, they will not finish the job even when they should. So yeah, that was my bad earlier. Construct some roads. Do one right along here. And I think that'll be the last set of tasks that we give them for now. We'll let the game play out. And by the time they finish all this stuff, they'll start foraging most likely. So we'll just watch it play out. We can even speed up the game. You can use 1, by the way. We'll pause the game to its normal speed like that. Or use 2x. or his super speed. And then you can also double tap 4. Oh, I guess they changed it now. So the first click of 4 will be the 3x speed, I think, right? 25x speed, my bad. And then if you press it again, this is 250x speed. Everything just flies. So we actually did finish our hunter. So 4 people are going out now to gather meat at a extreme pace. So these 4 people are gathering 14 meat a day. Compare that to our 3.3 meat from the pasture right over here. So this has the added benefit of producing livestock and leather for us. So we do actually still want to use these, and I think these are better personally. But the hunters are definitely better than they were in the past. These things just generate resources for us now, sustainably. Whereas in the past, these hunters would actually go out and kill these animals and deplete the, deplete the natural livestock that's out there, all the wild animals. So you'd eventually get rid of all your hunters because they don't do anything. Not the case anymore. We're already up to 33 people, and that's great. They should be out foraging here. Yep, they're already knocking out a lot of these plots. Good. Things are going pretty good. Had another warehouse bin for wood. Let the delivery man work on it. I am going to keep one delivery man in here now just to make sure things get moved a little bit. Okay. Well, hopefully they're done. I'm guessing they are probably done now with the foraging for the year. Looks pretty good. Just checking a few of the spots. All of these white squares mean that they're empty. So let's go ahead and hire more carpenters. And we will also activate this job. We're going to want to change a setting on this market, by the way. Something I noticed on my first playthrough with ea65 is that they'll basically stock anything that the populace would like to have access to. So what I mean by that is down here at the bottom, we have a set of goods that they'd like to furnish their homes with. So we want to create a lot of these things if we ultimately want to give them access to all of these things for their houses, which will improve, of course, their loyalty, their happiness, etc. But the thing is, one of the things that you can stock in your house is livestock. And so what'll happen, which is a problem early game too with these markets, is they will try to move in any available livestock from your warehouse into the market for furnishing purposes. The issue with that is once it's in the market for that purpose, it will not get applied to any pastures. So if you want to build a pasture, you will run into problems if you use this market too early and don't have one built, at least. Because you won't be making any of your own livestock at all. You'll never be able to kickstart the production of a pasture at all. I'm hoping that's something that gets fixed. I think the market should probably not set anything by default, since access... It's kind of more of like a mid to late game type thing anyway. They don't really need it. It doesn't improve their quality of life that much. I mean, it is a huge bar, but each of these pips is like a huge amount of resources that we can subtract from our stockpiles, and so each of them accounts for very little. It's definitely not something to strive for early in the game. Definitely want to just avoid that, to be honest. And of course, as your city grows, a single pip of wood will get multiplicatively more expensive. So you can see here the amount that's allowed to be that's allowed to furnish the subject's home. Right now it says 0 of 144, but it uses 0.25 of them per year. So every year already, with just our small population of 35, we're using going to use about 150 a year of wood. We're running through that with just our industry right now, you know, and that's just one pip if we do that. So yeah, definitely a good idea to be cautious with that. We'll give them more chopping tasks, keep them busy. Market. So right there, there's the issue that I was talking about. It took away 8 of our livestock, and it left 4 in this case, but it could easily take all of it. So I just uncheck that, and we do away with it from there. We actually don't really need any of this stuff. We don't have any Scythalon ore, pottery, jewelry, fish, gems, cut stone, clay. We do have these other things, which we can leave in here. So that's fine. Okay. So now we can finally build the lavatory under health. Forgot where it was for a second. Let's see. We could put one right here. Should be fine. This should be a good sized lavatory right here. We don't need anything too huge. Let's see. There we go. Latrines and basins. Good. Max efficiency with the basins. 1 employee, 7 services. 12 furniture to build, so pretty cheap. Make sure to put doors. Let's see, we can only do 1 door. There we go. Our little civilization's looking pretty good here. Got 7 homeless. It's fine. Really, we should probably make homes for these people. Yeah, let's do that, I think. So we can use the room copier function, I think. If I'm not mistaken. You might not be able to use that actually for houses, maybe. I guess you can't use it for houses. Interesting. Okay, you can also do copy area, or obviously you can just build a new set. Housing in this version of the game is way easier than in the past. You used to have to design your houses. It's no longer a thing. So it's way better. Let's see, other house. Let's build kind of a longer block. I try not to go more than like, 5 like this. Just because we want to make sure that people can walk through at various spots so we don't have any congestion issues, you know. So I like to give people plenty of room. I usually like to go 3 wide like this. So we'll do that. I believe they also made the housing more dense in general, actually, in this update. I don't think houses used to hold 5. I think they used to hold 4. So 25% more efficient. Yay. And like I said, eventually we can go through, if we click on this, there's a house upgrader tool. And you can click on the building to upgrade it automatically. We don't have the tech yet. It's called basements. But that will actually add more housing to these existing buildings too. Okay, so at some point we must have harvested, but actually I'm not sure how much it was, because we also had a forage come in too. I wasn't really watching that. Let's see. This will show us how much we made. So we made 26. It's also saying that we'll get 39 next year. So hey, that's actually not bad. This is actually usable. Like I said in the past, fruit farms were so inefficient that they weren't worth building, to be honest. But this is actually okay. Costs 3 employees, makes 39 food. That can support a decent amount of people. So, not bad. We will want to get a orchard going soon too, though, because that'll be more efficient, obviously. Produce more. You just have to wait for the trees to grow up. So after you get the orchard started, they basically labor and toil over the fields for like, I don't know, it's like 5 years or something before you start to get any fruit out of them. 5, 6 years. Okay, so this lavatory, yeah, immediately available services went. The guy finished building this latrine and then started using it immediately. He's like, "Oh, thank God." Yeah, seven services should do us fine for a while. So this is just 7 people using it at the same exact time. So, seven latrines should work for at least a population of I would imagine 150 or so. So we don't have to do anything with that for a long time. Is there anything else we can add around here? I think we're set. We do need a janitor. Clean this place up. Oh, we'll have to stick with that then. Gosh, this is kind of tough, isn't it? Let's think about this. Let's do that. Oh, man. Not quite good enough. Well, we can put, yeah, there we go. Hey, this'll work. So we'll put a door on either side. Should be good, yeah. There we go. So the janitor, what this building will do for us is, it'll actually just maintain buildings in the area. So you'll notice when we click on these, we have a, let's see, where is it? It's the accident rate. That's how often people get hurt. Maybe it's just when we mouse over it. No? I know you can see it in here. If the building gets degraded, it will actually apply a negative. Oh no, you can't see it in there either. Where is it? Well, this might be a trust me bro type moment. If the building gets degraded, basically you will get reduced efficiency on it. And this degradation occurs over time. It's completely natural. Your janitors actually will use some of the materials that was used to originally create the building to repair it, basically. The janitors, as far as I know, the only building that allows you to do that, so you do need to keep them around. They too have a area around them that they can work in, so every now and again you just need to, if you keep expanding, just make sure you include a janitor in the area. Anyway, we gained a new rank, and this is an important one. So we hit 40 population, and we can now use import and export depots. Yet again, Happiness, immigration up. People like it here. They want to come in. So now, in logistics, we can add import and export depots. We don't need any import depots that big. So let's see. Let's add. Let's make it two tiles away from the warehouse for now. And we'll probably, obviously, like I said, we'll move most likely all of this stuff. So we're not too concerned about it. You don't have to put any space in between here. They can walk through on either of these sides. And I think they can even walk through in the middle here too, on the import depot. But this will allow us to both buy goods and then sell goods. So it'll auto-employ, but it'll never employ more than one person anyway. One plumber can keep up, like, max volume for this thing. No problem. Okay. Speed up the game a little bit more. As you can see here, the meat is starting to roll in a little bit better. Thanks to the hunter. We do have 14 odd jobbers. That's a bit much. We might look to add a couple carpenters. And we might look to actually add more industry soon, too. The janitor is going to use up probably a couple people. Maybe actually should use, what, 4, I think? Yeah, 4, I believe. We'll find out. And the reason why, actually, in ea65, these new fancy roads that connect the various, like, capitals and whatnot, these are things that we have to maintain as well, too. So the janitor, in its off time, is going to go around and repair these roads. I think they do count, yeah, as dirt roads right now. So our citizens will like them when they're repaired. Right now, I don't think they do anything. Until they're fixed. Speaking of roads, try to keep up on these. It'll improve your citizens' efficiency dramatically over the long run. As you can see here too, when you go into the road building screen, it automatically uses the overlay path usage. So you can use this to monitor when you're not in the building screen anyway. But it will show you, it'll highlight the areas that people are walking over, which do not have a road. So it stands out pretty well. We definitely need to build roads here. And it's mostly because right now they're constructing it, obviously. So the traffic will decrease, but we know that there will be people using it in the future. And of course, when we want to expand westward, it'll be nice to have roads already kind of heading out that way, so that people can get there faster. Alright, so here's our export depot. We can choose what we want to export, and that's going to be grain. And then we only have one trade partner, and he's going to buy it for 2. In fact, that person I think that we were just looking at is greeting us. This guy's name is McTam the Fourth, Supreme Ruler of Ixpan. He welcomes us, and he's giving us a little bit of pocket change and a couple pieces of fabric. Thanks. So diplomacy has been revamped entirely in this version of the game. Seems better so far in every regard. But anyway, you actually have to form trade partners now, and you can only trade with kingdoms adjacent to you now. So it does make a lot more sense. In the past, you could buy a product and it would ship literally from the other side of the world on like boats, through mountains. it would literally take years sometimes to get the stuff that you bought. So this is a way better system. As you can see here, we're already selling. We already have stored 13 pieces of grain. So we already have the trader coming along from the warehouse, picking up the grain, moving it to the depot, and we'll sell it. In here, you can see the bar for how many of the resources we sell. By default, the option is export everything, even things that are not in warehouses. So it'll look all over the map, pull as much grain as it possibly can, and try to sell it. This is exactly what we want. We don't want to keep grain around at all. We just want the money. So they'll sell it all. We can change that, which is nice. If, like, say we get to the point soon where we are making so much meat that we can't eat it all, and it's going to spoil anyway, we can export a certain level. Like if we're above 80% of our warehouse, go ahead and sell the excess. So you can really customize your input and output, to rake in the profits. And the denarii, denarii is really good for jump-starting other industries that we might want to start, or shoring up like weaknesses in our economy, that kind of thing. But right now, we'll just stick with the exporting of the grain. We'll let that go, and we'll watch the money up here. By the way, this is where it's going to show. It shows the money, denarii, your tech points, let's see, stored. Enemies is how many enemies there are, I believe, on the map. But I'm not sure what the stored number is. 827 of 0. Not sure. Anyway. Shows it up there, though, so you can keep an eye on it. Yep, our janitor is done, too. And this, it'll start to maintain all of these buildings first, I believe, like all of our built ones. And then it'll go out to these roads, I believe. Right there he is. Already maintaining it. And there are 3 of them. I think it can support more than that. Yeah, it could support a lot more than that. We could set an import here if there was something that we wanted to buy. I don't think there is right now. I think we're pretty much set. We might actually look to export more things. Still do have 6 homeless. We are still authorizing as many people to come in as possible, so that's part of it. Alright. Well, it definitely seems like we have a good foundation for a little city here. It is just a village still, of course. Look at this. We already have our first trader. He's coming in to pick up this grain, I believe. So we'll watch that. I think that's what he's here for. Okay, maybe, maybe he wasn't doing that. You know, that might have been the guy dropping off the gift, actually, now that I think about it. That's probably what that was. Anyway, we'll look for someone to sell. Wait a minute. You have no trade agreements for this resource. Ah, okay, we don't actually have a trade agreement with these people yet. So, if we want to get a trade agreement, we can offer a trade agreement. They will accept and establish a trade agreement with us, but we have to give them some stuff. We're fine with that. Increases their opinion of us, and the reason why, by the way, is because they're way more powerful than us. You know what I mean? Like, we're expected to give tribute, in a sense. Let's see. We can offer trade, as you can see here, with this other random power. It's way stronger, even the first people that we're looking at. And it decreases so it needs, basically, we need to offer 416 denarii worth of goods, or actual denarii, in order to even the scales, basically, in their mind. So we might do that in the future. Right now, as long as we have one partner, it's fine. Hopefully they buy our grain, even though it's only for 2. So that clears that condition down here. This also, by the way, shows the export capacity, so you can build even more export depots. I think you can even build bigger ones for that one, too. Yeah, so you can build huge export depots if you're moving a lot of product. Something we might do in the future, but... Anyway, I think that's a good spot right there to call it. We've got houses coming up, so people will be less homeless in a little bit. Roads are coming out. Got janitors to maintain everything. They can go to the bathroom now. They can go to the food stall to get stuff for the bathroom. The market is up. They can buy goods. We've even got the beginnings of our economy going too. So I hope you enjoyed. I look forward to coming back next time and building the city up even further. Until then, peace.